What's up, YouTube? I have another knife review for you out here today. It's raining a little bit, but we're gonna fight through. This is an interesting knife. This is it's a full tang fighting fixed blade. This ain't your bushcraft knife. All right, you could also use it as a throwing knife if you wanted to. But yeah, double-edged. All right, look at the full tang, extended tang with a lanyard hole and an impact point on the pommel. So this is how your knife is going to arrive in a box like this. That is the full name of the brand, right? Takumitak. This is, I put it back in so you can see what the unboxing experience will be like. The art of survival. I'm an expert at survival. I have not even died once, right? So 100% clean record in survival. It also comes with this sheath, which is Kydex with eyelets there. And it has this, which you basically pull that part up. Right, pull that part up and squeeze in, and that allows you to open the belt loop. The blade steel is D2 tool steel. The hardness is 61 to 62 HRC. You see it's got a fuller down the center line and that classic Dagger grind. Yeah, I like that true full tang, thick stock. This is 4.3 millimeters in blade thickness. If you measure from the start of the edge, right, the edge length is about 4 3/4 inches. I like that extended tang. I like that skull cracker pommel. I did weigh this knife when I was back home. It weighs 8.4 ounces without the sheath, and the sheath weighs roughly 3 and some ounces. So do you need a knife like this? Well, I don't know if you do. I have subscribers all around the world. I have subscribers that are in countries that are literally in civil war right now, or have literally been invaded right now. Okay, just imagine this log is your enemy soldier. Now, what you have to remember is that a human body is far less resistant to being cut than this log, okay? So, you know, it's gonna go that far into the log, but if that was an enemy, the reality is that it would be incredibly brutal, okay? On YouTube, we are limited. Basically, we're not allowed to use realistic looking targets, right? Even if they're inanimate. Right, I'm not allowed to use like a human looking fucking doll or something, because that would get demonetized, right? So you're gonna have to use your imagination. But like, real talk, if you had to use something like this in that capacity, it would be brutal. I mean, we're talking like a horror movie scene. What sets this knife apart from the cheaper, like, you know, $20 stainless steel daggers you could find is the thickness, right? This is meant to actually survive in the field. Yeah, this is definitely a winning design for me as far as a combat knife. It has all the things I look for. First of all, it came pretty sharp, and the hardness is going to give this good edge retention. The piercing ability, well, I think you can figure that out, definitely. Like I said, I had a buddy who was in the Marines who had to use a knife, and he just used a D2 K-bar. I'm talking about in combat. He had to deactivate somebody, and he just used what he had. He just happened to have a D2 K-bar, but he certainly could have used this in that situation. All right, so soldiers find their own uses for things, so I'm going to cut a few materials with this on the off chance that you just fucking have to cut something with your fighting knife. All right, here is the knife on some paracord. Yeah, I am going to cut some things with this. There we go. Here it is on a seatbelt type strap. Does well. And here it is on some bike tire tubing. Here it is on a piece of a box. Now, one utility advantage of a double edge is that if one edge gets dull in the field, you can just switch to the other edge, right? Alright, just so you can see what it does to a piece of wood. Obviously, it's not a bushcraft knife. This is not its forte, but you just want to see how it interacts. Drawing it down this piece of wood. It does pretty well, considering it's a dagger, you know. This is kiln-dried firewood. If I wanted to, I could carve this into a spike with this, but that would take a very long time. Alright, so that's what it'll do to a piece of firewood. Now YouTube, if you actually believe in self-defense, and perhaps you're from a military family, my dad was in Vietnam. My dad was in Nam, right? Still alive to this day. So if you support actual frank discussion of things that a soldier might need, even things that maybe are made to terminate an insurgent or other enemy, give me a thumbs up. Do I think the price of $60, the current price, do I think that's reasonable? It is pretty reasonable considering what you get. It's thick, it's well made. There's two types of people that are going to buy this. People who actually need it, like my buddy who was in the Marines who could actually need it, or people who just think it's cool. Maybe they're martial artists. Maybe you think you're not really going to need it, but you're just a fan of this type of thing, right? So at $60, for the people who might actually need to use it, I think $60 is totally reasonable, because how much is your life worth? But for those people that are buying it for coolness factor, that $60 price tag is a little bit high. So I think if they lowered the price a little, they'd get a lot more customers that would be in that category of, oh, I like cool martial blades. I don't think I'm going to get into a knife fight, but I like things like this. I appreciate them. I appreciate the history. Right, so that's my thoughts on the pricing. Yeah, this brand actually has a lot of interesting martial blades, a lot of combat-oriented blades. So I most likely will be trying some of their others in the future. This is the first one I've tried by this brand, and I do like it. I mean, yeah, this thing is pretty impressive, really, if you like this kind of thing, which I do, you know. Alright, my YouTube friends, so remember to try to support us video makers in any way you can. Leave comments, subscribe, turn on notifications. If you're in the United States, use the affiliate links. Check out our playlists, everything like that.